John Fedro here with mobilehomeinvesting.net. Thanks so much for watching this video. This video pertains to everyone who's getting started in mobile home investing to really understand the finances that you have and make them stretch just as far as they can go. So in this video, we're going to be talking about no matter what finances you have, and you know your finances better than I do, if you have $5, $10, $25, $50, $100,000, your business is going to vary depending on what money you have getting started. But I don't want you thinking that just because you have $5,000, you can't ramp up as quickly as somebody that has a lot more. So if you only have $5,000, there's strategies, methods, things that you need to know and understand for your first couple deals so that you can still keep up with other people that have more money. It's my fear that if you get involved with mobile home investing and you don't know what you're doing, you purchase your first home and then you have to sit on your hands. Literally can't do anything until you get this money back. So you're waiting a couple months, 6 months, 3 months, 12 months to recoup your money to then reinvest it again. And that's silly. I mean, I don't want you, this isn't a hobby, this is a business. We should be making money, making substantial money. Even if you don't have that much to get started, mobile homes afford you a really good opportunity if you don't have a lot of money. But if you're not from this mobile home investing niche, you may not know that. So this video has 3 parts, and you have to know the first 2 parts to understand the part number 3. But I want to talk to you about these backwards. So I'm going to go from part 3 to 2 to 1. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, I'm going to put 1 through 8 different ways that you can go ahead and save money or acquire money or purchase mobile homes. Things to consider with regards to your mobile home investing business. So the first thing to do to acquire money to invest in mobile homes is to save it. So you're going to save now. You're probably going to continue to save. You have some savings. Number 2 is when you're purchasing mobile homes from sellers, you don't have to give them cash right away. You can give them payments. Some sellers, they'll take payments for their equity, for the purchase price of their home. So that's called seller financing. Many people know that. I'll just put seller fin. We'll know what that means, number 2. Number 3 is to reinvest your profits. So every dime that you make in your first deal, it goes right into the second deal, etc. So number 3, reinvest your profits. Number 4, OPM, other people's money. This is private money, people that you know, people that you've met, people with IRAs, friends, family. You're giving them a better interest rate borrowing their money than they would get in a bank. Number 5 is to partner. You can partner with money people who want a percentage of the deal. You can also sell mobile homes for cash. I'll put sell for cash. You can sell mobile homes for cash to then raise money. If you're going to sell for cash, try to triple your money. If not tripling your money, then at least doubling your money when you're selling a mobile home for cash. Usually around tax time in other areas of the country, you can do this a little bit more readily than in most areas of the country. Most areas of the country, we're going to sell for payments, but you can structure a deal. You can sell for cash if you double or triple your money. If you sell for payments, we're doing far better than that with regards to our profit. Number 7 is then to sell a note. You can originate a note, have a note originated, and then sell a note for cash. I do a separate video talking about, with some other folks that I'm working with, about selling notes, so you can go ahead and check that out. And then number 8, I'll put credit cards. Credit cards, HELOCs, or home equity lines of credit, going to the bank and signing personally. I hope this pink red color is coming through. I don't like using HELOCs, credit cards, banks, because you don't need to. If you have $5,000, if you have 0 money, don't invest, keep saving your money. But if you have $5,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, I do a separate video on how much you should need to get started safely. And this is kind of the part 2 of that video. You can watch the first video here. And I don't like this one, so I'm going to put a dashed line through it because I really suggest, there's other ways. You can think creatively, but I'd like to really challenge you to not use these. In your area, you can purchase mobile homes if you want to get started with mobile home investing with just $5,000. So let's talk about this a little bit more, and then I'll talk to you more about here. If you've used a bank before, I'm not calling you any names. I just want to encourage you that you don't need banks. You can work this business with the money that you do have, with private money. You don't have to get that institutional money involved if you don't want to. But then again, if you're only borrowing something at a 0 interest rate, 5% rate, 10%, although 10% is a little high, when we sell these homes, we're making a substantial profit. So I will say, the last thing about credit cards, if you do purchase a home on a credit card, pay that off first, or a HELOC. Pay every dime of profit to that credit card and get that taken away first. So, okay, I'll get off my soapbox. That's all I have to say about that. So if you have $5,000 of all these strategies, I very much encourage you to do all of these, okay, with definitely number 1, number 2, number 3. You're definitely gonna keep saving money if you only have $5,000. You're gonna try to structure seller financing with sellers. You're gonna reinvest your profits. You may use other people's money eventually, start getting that lined up. Maybe partnering, selling homes for cash. One of your first 2, 3, 4 deals, 1 or 2 of those should be selling homes for cash. So absolutely this as well. You can't sell for payments if you only have $5,000. You have to sell some for cash. You definitely keep saving. So I'm going to put 1 through 7 right here. So 1 through 7, is a thumbs up, but definitely number 1, save, 2, seller financing, 3, reinvest the profit, absolutely. You don't need other people's money if you have $5,000. You don't need it. It's good to have, but you don't need it. You don't need to partner. Sell for cash, yes. You don't need to sell any notes. You don't need a credit card. So if you only have $5,000, everything is good, but 1, 2, 3, and 6 are what you want to definitely do to stay in business, to then keep investing your profits into new homes and to keep closing deals and to keep helping more sellers. We're going to talk more because no matter what area of the country you're in, we're going to talk more, so keep watching this video. If you have $10,000, I want you to do everything as well, 1 through 7. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward. All of these are 1 through 7. In fact, in my mind, you should always keep saving. You should always reinvest your profits. I love seller financing even to this day if I can structure it with sellers. Other people's money, that's a good thing to have. Partnering, possibly. It's always good to have partners. Selling homes for cash. Maybe sell the homes for cash you can sell for cash. Keep the ones you keep. Sell notes, that's up to you. Some people I work with sell notes, some don't, some never do. And then the credit cards, again, you know how I kind of feel about that. If you have $10,000, even 25, 50 will let you breathe. You can keep investing in mobile homes. And when I say investing in mobile homes, if you've watched my other videos, you know that we're purchasing homes for well under $10,000. Maybe in a nicer area, $12,000 with payments, $14,000 with payments, but then we're selling it for well up to $60,000 on payments as well. So most of the homes I'm talking to you about, your business, are going to be homes well under $10,000. So let's actually talk about that in just a minute. I still want to talk about if you have $10,000, you're still going to do all of these, 1, 2, 3, and 6. There's not a lot of difference there. So 1, 2, 3, and 6. Save, seller financing, reinvest your profits, sell for cash. $25,000, the same. You're eventually going to have to sell, I think, some for cash. Or if you get to mobile homes on land, sell them with bank financing. All right, I hope part 3 really made sense. We're going to head and move forward to part 1 and then part 2. I'm going to keep this on the board, so I'm not going to erase it or have it go anywhere. I'm going to keep it right there. Remember what bracket that you're in. And it's important to understand now that we have that sort of knowledge, you may be asking yourself, John, I go on Craigslist, I drive through parks, and I can't find any homes for sale under $10,000, under $20,000, under $40,000. They just don't exist in my market. And whether you're from the East Coast, West Coast, North, South, Midwest, anywhere in between, I can tell you from first or secondhand experience, these deals are possible in every area. You may have to do certain things differently in your area, which is sort of what we're going to talk about here. But it's important to have clarity. If you've seen other videos that I have, it's so important to have clarity in your market. Clarity about what people are buying, what they're selling. Clarity enough so you can give your buyers and sellers that clarity as well. You're the authority in your marketplace. And that authority can come quickly if you know what you're doing. And what I mean by that is you have to know who's out there. You have to know who's selling what people are buying homes for, what people are selling homes for. Let's talk about what people are selling homes for. It's important not just to talk to 5 or 10 sellers, but talk to every seller in your area and really shake the tree. Here's sort of a very, here's a map of your area, and here's your home, that little tiny dot in the middle. And this is 90 minutes in this direction, and it's a 90-minute radius in all directions. So that's your territory, in my opinion. Now, when you first get started, obviously you want to start 10 miles away, 20 miles away, and then grow out from there. If you're by the water, you obviously don't want to go into the water, but you have a 90-minute territory. So that's a huge market around you. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you. In the beginning, it's only going to be 10 miles, like I said, 20 miles, 30 miles. You expand out, and I think an hour and a half driving distance is far enough out in most areas. So it's important to really understand that there are hundreds of mobile home parks all around you in these different locations, in these different areas. Mobile homes on parks, mobile homes in land, mobile homes on land. When I first talked to many investors or many would-be mobile home investors, they have this sort of spotlight that they do. This is a flashlight. Terrible, not a very good artist, but that's a flashlight. And whenever I talk to newer mobile home investors, they do their own kind of research in the market, which really consists of Craigslist usually. You know, I go to Craigslist, put Craigslist. I drive through parks. I can't spell. Drive through parks. I look in the newspaper, let's say, newspaper. I talk to park managers as well. While this does give you a good understanding and a good start, this is only the tip of the iceberg. There are so many other ways to advertise and market yourself, and people aren't even always, I don't want to say a lot, many mobile home sellers, they don't advertise their home properly. So you have to know who people are, you have to know who to talk to, and really get your name out there. It's not just important to be reactive and respond to people when they have a home for sale, but to be proactive and have people know who you are around you, who you are, how you can help. So there's so many other ways to target and to find sellers, to attract sellers, to get your name out there. Everything from networking, to flyers, to newspapers, both proactive and reactive. I know we said proactive right there. We said signs, bird dogs, and the list goes on. Now, once you've found all these sellers, you've identified them, you know your radius. So if anything, I kind of want to just impress upon you that there is a lot of inventory. In a 90-mile radius in all directions from you, there's a lot of inventory. There's a lot of things you need to know. And all these sellers are in different situations. So it's important to identify who's selling what and then make offers. This is part 2 of part 1. I guess that was like A. This is part B. Make offers. Make a lot of them. Make a massive amount of offers and follow up and keep doing it. The more offers you make, in my opinion, the more valid offers that you make, you find these sellers, you understand them, you talk to them, you know who they are, you know what they need, you put yourself in their shoes, then you can make valid offers to help them. And make a lot of offers. Make a few offers to every single seller that you're talking to. Based on the amount of money you have, you know, how are you going to make these offers? Seller financing? Is your exit strategy going to be selling for cash to raise more money, to then get into bigger homes or more homes? But if you have 5,000, don't use all 5,000. Remember, you're talking to all these sellers. You know, you can talk to more than one seller at once. Some sellers, and here's, let's go into part 2 right now. Use a different color. Okay, this is time right here. This is the hourglass of time. As time goes by, this is very important to understand, motivation typically increases as well. So as time goes by, motivation typically increases. Depending on where you find all these different sellers, they may have just listed their property for sale. They may have had it on the market for 5 weeks already or 5 months already. So now that we have this all on the board, let's really look at and understand what we've talked about. And I really hope that this makes clarity, or that this makes sense for you to understand. If you do only have $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, you know, what are some of the things that you have to do, that you should do when you first get started in this business? You have to be cautious, you have to have clarity, you have to have a plan. But what does that plan look like? It's going to look something like this. You take massive action by knowing where sellers are, making a name for yourself, making a lot of offers throughout your territory, starting close in the beginning and then eventually spreading out. Understand that sellers need to sell. Us as investors, us buyers, we never need to buy. Sellers need to sell. We don't ever need to buy. So as time goes by, motivation goes up. And remember, no matter what home you sell, if you've seen my other videos, I want you making all your money back in your first 12 months or less. I want you making $300 minimum cash flow per door. It's $300 minimum. And 5 years worth of payments when you sell these homes. So you're going to, you understand part 1 with regards to taking a massive approach. Number 2, with regards to understanding the sellers that you're talking to. If you hear a no, it's oftentimes, it can be a temporary no. And then part 3, of course, getting to the point where you're actually going to put out some money, you're going to put out some capital to get into this deal, whether it's just a little bit of money with seller financing or you're buying the whole thing cash. Understand your exit strategy, the repairs, your entrance strategy as well. And then how are you selling it? If you're selling it handyman special versus all cash, you really have to know what buyers will pay. So again, I guess if anything in this video, it might have raised a lot of questions, and I hope it does. Please ask them below. However, just understand that if you do have $5,000, the worst thing I would want you to do is invest that $5,000 and then just have to sit, on your hands and do nothing because you just didn't understand for your first deal, you didn't purchase the first property correctly. I mean, it's going to make you money, it's going to be profitable maybe, but it's not going to get you your money right back out so then you can reinvest it. If you have $100,000, you can let your money just sit there. But if you have only $5,000 or $10,000, we need to pull that money back out so we can then reinvest it and do more deals to then make more cash flow, make more money, to then get you to a point where you're more secure. I hope that really made sense, that helped. If you have any follow-up questions or concerns, please don't ever hesitate to comment below. And thank you so much. If you have to reach out to me, you can reach me at support@mobilehomeinvesting.net. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.